With the Excellence in Real Estate team and Keller Williams Realty. I want to thank you for joining me. This is, I guess it's the third part of my special report based on the David Knox report on pricing your home to sell. A homeowner's guide to selling your home for the most money in the shortest time. If you're putting your home on the market, that should be your goal. Sell for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. And as a professional realtor, I always like to add in there with the least amount of inconvenience. That's where I come in. Okay? So we're talking this time about the principles of evaluation. And there's 6 principles that I'm just going to go over briefly with. You can discuss each of these with your realtor if you have any questions. But the first one is cost. And when you evaluate something, you look at the cost. What did it cost? What was the actual cost of the property when it was purchased, and what are the costs of the capital improvements that are made? So in other words, you bought a house and you paid $200,000 for it, you put another $30,000 into it, so your cost factor is $230,000. It's one way to evaluate or a principle of evaluation of a piece of property. The second is price. Price is the stated amount that a seller will take for the property. Let's say that same property, you got $230,000 in cost. I want $500,000 for it. Well, the price then becomes the principle of evaluation. That's, you're evaluating it because he wants $500,000. Now he may have nothing to go on, but that's what he wants. That's what he'll take. Everybody has a price, and in this case, that seller's price is $500,000. Don't ask me why, but that's the case. All right, value. Now that's a different story. Value is the third principle of evaluation, and that's the amount that a buyer is willing to pay for a given property under a given set of circumstances. So now you're the buyer, and you look at this property and you say, I'll give you $300,000 for it, you know, if you could do this and this and make sure the lawn is mowed before you leave. Okay, well that's the value. To me, that's the value that the buyer has, that's the value that the marketplace has given to this property. If somebody else doesn't come along with a better offer, then that's the value, okay? But now we have what we call market value. And market value is probably one of the most important principles of evaluation because it's combining price and value, okay? The market value is what happens, is what's actually going to bring a sale. That's what the negotiation process is all about. And it's, you take a willing buyer and a willing seller, and it's based on the history of similar properties, but this is what the market is willing to bear, okay? And the market value. And that brings us to regression and progression. Now, this is kind of tricky. I had a home just last year that I had listed, and it was way overbuilt for the area. The guy's a contractor. He put in all kinds of, he's a rock pool contractor, and he had the most elaborate rock pool and rock landscape. It rivaled Disneyland. It rivaled Las Vegas hotels. I mean, it was just totally fantastic. He was on like about 4/10 of an acre, and every inch of that property was landscaped and hardscaped to the max. He had over 50 palm trees. This is a tract home. All right. The listing expired. He did not get his price. He was way overpriced. He was $250,000 more than the highest tract home in that neighborhood had sold for during that same period. Same model, same floor plan, same square footage. $250,000. Well, his pool was worth $500,000, but it's not worth $500,000 in that neighborhood. That's what we call by regression. That's having the highest price to the most valuable property in a given area. You need to be comparable to your neighborhood. Progression is the opposite effect, and progression is actually a good thing to do. That's if you're in an area of, you know, every home is a 4,000 square foot house on a 10,000 foot lot, and you've got a house that's it's a little single story, 2,500 square foot on a 6,000 foot lot. Well, you're taking the advantage of the neighborhood, and your value is going up based on that. So that's a good thing to do. Okay, it's always best to have the least expensive home in an expensive neighborhood than the most expensive home in an inexpensive neighborhood. Okay, substitution. That's the sixth and final topic in. I'm sorry, the sixth and final principle of evaluation that we'll be discussing here. Substitution is for an actual amenity. If let's say you bought a home and you put in 20-inch tile floors in your whole downstairs, okay? The value is determined not by the cost of that, Because let's say you did the labor yourself and you went down and you bought the tile wholesale, and you really got a good deal and you did the work, and you had some help, maybe a guy doing it as a side job, and so it only cost you maybe 60% of what it would have cost. Or you did it the other way. You went down to Home Depot, you picked out some tile, and you said, yeah, send the guy out and I'll pay whatever it takes. So you have the exact same tile, and you have two completely different prices that are thousands of dollars off. But you know what? Neither one of them has anything to do with the value. The value is, what is the buyer going to pay for that particular amenity, okay? And the fact is that you have two different prices for the same amenity. It's what is the value of that amenity. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to use a well as an example. All right, so come back and join us for the fourth part of the special report. Until next time, this is John Occhi with the Excellence in Real Estate team and Keller Williams Realty, wishing you and yours all the very best. Make every day a great day, because every day is just so precious. Believe me, I never get tired of hearing that and saying that. All right, so thanks again, and God bless to you and yours. All right, bye-bye now.